Hank Brill here with thedailyrock.com. Tonight I'm sitting with Jonas and Anders from Katatonia. How you guys feeling?
Great.
How's it?
Yeah, we're great. I mean, it's always an interesting experience to come over here on the other side of the world. This is different to Europe, man. What can I say? This is an interesting ride. It's a whole new experience. Every day is something else.
What sorts of crazy experiences have you guys had on this tour so far?
Well, the first thing I think about is like, you know, I don't know.
We had a sold-out show in New York. With our friend Christer, who was singing with us on the last album. He came out because he lives in New York now. And he did a song with us live, which was a sold-out show, and that was just free highlight of the whole tour. It was great. Everybody was so happy. For a couple guys from Sweden, it must be a pretty big deal to show up in New York and sell something out. Which venue was that in New York that you sold out?
Gramercy.
Gramercy, okay.
It's a dream come true, really. Honestly, it is. You would never expect that, you would never think about it would happen ever growing up as we did, you know, teenagers just having metal kids, coming over to the other side of the pond, selling out, venue in New York, just being in New York is a big deal for us, you know. Couldn't be happier, and it just happened also to be such a magic night with our friend Crystal Linder on board at the time, you know, doing the Parter once, only there, never again.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah.
What other sorts of experiences have been making this tour a pretty epic experience? Any other dreams being fulfilled? And what other dreams could you guys go after at this point? I mean, you guys have sold out New York. So what's next for you? Are there any other dreams that have yet to be fulfilled that you want to go after?
I see it as a constant thing going on. I mean, every city, everywhere is a new experience, something new to grasp, you know. I mean, you're meeting people every night and nobody's the same. So I love the whole fan connection, talking to people, see how they, you know, what Katatonia meant in their lives. We get to hear the stories every night, you know, which is very rewarding because that's, you know, that's why we're here as well. We're sitting here because of a reason. I just love that, and also I think we owe it to our fans coming over, you know, playing worldwide, going places we, you know, never thought we would. We have Australia coming up, we have South America coming up, we never went there. India even, you know. India, you know what I mean?
Wow.
It's like, wow.
What's the scene gonna? What do you expect to see from the scene of India?
I think they're catching up on metal now. We have a few friends in other bands who's been there, and I mean, you know, it's just over. I mean, the country's huge. It's very populated, so of course there are metal fans there. You just don't read about them because India has no bands that have made it to the West, kind of. So, but of course there's a scene there, and if we can play there, if we get the opportunity, we will go there. And that's, I have to say about, you know, the New York thing is great, but it's pretty much as valuable for us to play someplace where we haven't been before. Even to a smaller crowd, it's not a problem for us. You know, to play like places like Serbia, and that's places you wouldn't go else otherwise. You know.
What sort of response do you guys think you'll have when you're in India and some fan on the other side of the world from a completely different culture of your own will have one of these other fan stories for you, talking to you about how your music has touched them? What will that do for you?
It will be surreal because it's hard for us to grasp that our music has made its way all the way to India and kind of integrated in someone's life there. I mean, it's kind of easy for us to do, you know, we can, here in the States, you know, the culture is pretty much the same. It's not hard for us to imagine that people can pick up our albums and they will like the music, but in somewhere, you know, so far from where we are, that the music is actually making a point there, it's fantastic.
Talking about your music a little bit, you know, it's interesting because the other night I had some friends over. I was playing Katatonia, and they hadn't been exposed to it yet. And what was interesting is how they're sitting there, and they just kind of started swaying to the music and kind of like really getting at it. And their observation, and I totally agree with it, is how with your sound, you have this catatonic, but I mean, like, you have this. It's very chill, very relaxing, very. I don't want to say cathartic in many senses, but you know, it does provide a nice release. But my friend said, but it has balls, which I first commend you for. But how do you go about creating such a sound, such an original sound that you guys are part of being the pioneers of, that's coming out of Sweden these days, with that, you know, where it's, yeah, it's doom, but at the same time it's very, you can just relax to it. Talk to me about your sound a little bit here, guys.
I think you just nailed it pretty much there. We have been chasing our signature trademark sound for a long time, and I think we nailed it pretty much. I don't know, maybe
Last few albums.
yeah, last few albums, and it's just like once you're there, you can close a kind of door on the past, but there's just opens up so many new possibilities that we are not afraid to explore opposed to other bands probably, because we're not into this, you know, forced, you know, thing like we have to be metal this or metal that. I don't care. I mean, we of course have our whole thing around evolving around heavy music, but I mean, for me, dark music, which is just as important thing, can be mellow just as heavy. And we love to just, you know, explore and go way beyond borders into kind of, you know, groundbreaking, breaking genres and just picking elements from what we can find there. Bring that back into Katatonia, filter it our way, so you will know it falls under our trademark. This is why I think we stand out from the rest a little bit, because our influences and inspirations are definitely not 100% within metal.
It's not generic.
No, we seek it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it can be, it's not just music. It's everywhere we go. It's experiences, it's mood, it's situations, it's circumstances, it's movies, words, sentences, colors, a lot of that stuff, you know, just reflects back in Katatonia, and we just make it our way. Because, I mean, we've been doing the band now. Next year will be our 20th year anniversary. It's a long time. Who would know that we were still sitting here? Who would actually know we were sitting here at all? Doing this after so long, but we're chasing our dreams still here. We're still very hungry. Yeah.
When are your dreams fulfilled? What needs to happen for you to say, we've done it, that's it? World domination, space travel?
I think it's when we do an album that we're not happy with, then we're done.
Very
And
interesting.
it will not be released, so that's just the end of it all.
So for you, you'll know you've made it when failure comes and not success?
I think we get the feeling that we made it every time we do an album that we're happy with, because it's the most important thing still. You know, it's the foundation of everything. An album is the foundation of a tour and everything that comes with it. So every time we do an album that we're happy with, it's like, you know, the best feeling in the world. Because you know that you can stand by it, you can tour for this album and feel secure that these songs are the best we could ever do at the time.